Имиджевая составляющая всегда была немаловажной для нашего банка. В течение многих лет мы поддерживали культуру и искусство, являлись организаторами концертов мировых звезд. И, конечно же, мы очень хотим, чтобы впечатления наших клиентов от Альфа-банка были большими, чем впечатления человека от простой финансовой организации.
Мы уже в течение полугода работали над какой-то яркой, интересной идеей, связанной с нашим юбилеем. Хотели сделать событие, которое запомнится надолго. Мы должны были выяснить, кто в мире лучше всего делает такие события. И в результате остановили выбор на Дэвиде Аткинсе.
We were contacted by Victor. From the Alpha Bank. He saw the work that we had done in the Olympics, particularly in Vancouver. The result of seeing the work we did in video projection and the opening ceremony and closing ceremony of Vancouver and our other work on the Olympics and the Asian Games and Shanghai World Expo, he contacted us to see if we could create a special event to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Alpha Bank and at the same time celebrate Moscow Day.
Alpha Bank and the Russian people contacted us at David Atkins Enterprises and asked us to put on a show that was going to have impact and that people were going to walk away and remember, that was going to evoke a feeling from people. So and they've come to the right company to achieve that, because what we at David Atkins Enterprises do is we don't just put on shows that people watch, is we put on shows that people feel.
And so it was a very unique opportunity for us that Alpha has given us. It's not very often that a client comes to you with a brief to say, do something that's never been done before. We were asked by Alpha Bank to come up with a creative, to design the event and to do something that had not been seen before. And they gave us a certain amount of time to come back to them. So my creative team in Sydney and I worked for 3 or 4 weeks. And we came up with the idea of this building. The bank had already secured the building. So they said, this is the venue we want to create the event. And so we worked on the idea of creating a massive video mapping of the venue, but also making it 4-dimensional so that we have performers and live action exploding off the building as part of the event, which has not really been done before.
The biggest hurdles that we face as an international production company quite often when we go from country to country putting on shows is the production team that we find that we have to work with when we get there, the expertise on the ground. And from only being here for 24 hours, I'd like to say that I have no concerns in that regard, although it might be bigger than anything anyone's done here before, with the expertise of our technical director, James Lee, and David Atkins being the best show producer in the world. I'm very confident that with the local crew and David's expertise, we can put this show on and make it the best it possibly can be. Video mapping that we're using in this show has been done on buildings and many buildings around the world. Most recently celebrated on a big show in Dubai. But what we're doing here is taking that and on a scale, timesing it by 10. Basically the size of the structure that we're going to be working in on the university here in Moscow is probably 4 times larger than anybody's attempted to do anywhere on earth. And the other thing that David's very passionate about with all of the shows that we do, particularly with this show here in Moscow, is what we call the 4D element of this. So it's 3-dimensional graphics that we're going to be projecting onto this massive building, but also there's a live element to this show. So when there's snow on the building, people will feel snow around them. When there's heat on the building, people will feel heat around them. And there's live performers that are integrating within that as well. So it truly is going to be a 4-dimensional show on a scale like Russia, Moscow, or for that matter the world has ever seen. We have enlisted the help of Spider-Man, as he's known, who has scaled around 100 of the world's most impressive architectural buildings, including the Burj, the tallest building on the face of the planet. Now he's famous for climbing buildings illegally, and he's certainly has become notorious around the world for doing that. In this circumstance, we are taking Spider-Man and we're actually going to integrate him with the video mapping. And it's the first time that's actually been done as well, which is to integrate live performance with the video mapping. So again, we've got a spectacular size building in the university. We've got the premier climbing performer in the world with Spider-Man. and David Atkins and the best video mapping supply company in the world. So well, it's set up to be a pretty good show.
В процессе подготовки мы забираемся в такие места, где, наверное, только самые отчаянные студенты со студентками сюда забирались по весне. Вот. Удивительные места здесь есть, я надеюсь, что они все нам сослужат хорошую службу.
So most of the challenges here have been technical. The content, the projectors, we've got 75 projectors on the building, getting the right light exposure and lining up. We've actually, every single window, every single facade, every shape has had to be video mapped, and we project the building onto the building throughout the ceremony, throughout this whole performance. And at times it's quite amazing when you see the building project on itself and fill in the space. And that exercise technically is a huge challenge. There's so many favourite parts. The St George and the Dragon sequence at the beginning is spectacular. That's fantastic. I still love the dancing bookcase, the library when it dances. I love that as well. I love the fish tank and the flood when the water comes over the building and it turns into a fish tank. It's spectacular. There are so many things when you watch this piece that completely captivate you. That you forget you're watching a building.
Сделано абсолютно все, что могло быть сделано, и тот объем работы, который был проделан, конечно, его невозможно переоценить. Сделано все в 3 слоя, поэтому сейчас единственное, от чего мы зависим, это, конечно, от погоды. Я и вся наша команда, которая работает над этим, мы очень глубоко внутри себя ощущаем это как рождение своего ребенка. Поэтому погружаемся абсолютно в каждую стадию. Если чего-то мы не знали, когда приступали к проекту, то мы потихонечку стали в этом профессионалами тоже.
We haven't done a full rehearsal with all the pyrotechnics yet, or a full audience here. So it's going to be interesting tonight to do it for the first time with everything. But last night's rehearsal was very, very encouraging. It was a great rehearsal. There was a small audience last night, small 400 people to see it. They loved it. So we're very excited.
Что будем делать дальше? Посмотрим, потому что сейчас так сложно удивить чем-то клиентов, гостей, в общем, москвичей и россиян, что вот мы очень долго думали над тем, как реализовать этот проект и что сделать такого особенного. Ну, будем ломать голову дальше, что еще такого сделать, чего в России никто не делал. Хочется сказать огромное спасибо всей команде Альфа-банка, прежде всего команде Альфа-банка, как единому связующему звену и сердцу этого проекта. Хочется сказать огромное спасибо профессиональной команде Дэвида Аткинса. Огромная работа была сделана кометой. Спасибо им огромное. и, безусловно, компания «Цепелин». То есть большое количество людей принимало участие в этом проекте. Спасибо всем огромное. Все было очень здорово.